have I got a treat for you today. Behind me here is the brand new Palumbo Atlantique 43-metre super yacht. This is 27 million euros worth of first-rate, first-class super yacht construction, and I'm going to show you every single inch of it. My name is Hugo Andreae, you're watching Motorboat and Yachting. Let's go and tour a super yacht. Couple of very quick stats first of all. So 43 metres, equivalent to 143 feet. It is 31 foot wide and it has a remarkable 462 gross tons. That's the measurement of the volume, and trust me, for a yacht of this length it is exceptional. Now the very first thing you notice about this is the unusual styling of this whole stern beach club area. It's very much in the current trend of a kind of semi-explorer style beach club yacht, and look how cool this one is. We've got an infinity pool looking out over the stern of the yacht. You can hear the water just gently trickling over the sides, but imagine being anchored up in some beautiful Mediterranean or Caribbean bay, sitting in your hot tub looking out to sea. And of course this would be even more spectacular at anchor, because then we'd have space to put these two platforms down. They fold out to expand the space even more and make sure you have a fabulous view out to the sides as well. Now the whole idea of this aft cockpit is to be as versatile as possible. So the owner has spec'd this with modular furniture, so you can move it around, take it away, have it as a massive great party space. But what a cool spot. We've got a big overhang overhead providing a certain amount of shade. There's freestanding sun loungers, low slung sofas, those folding side terraces we've already mentioned. Absolutely stunning. This is the heart of the yacht, but there is so much more to show you. So let's carry on and work our way through the boat. So first things first, let's go into the saloon. Now, lots of different ways you can spec this out. This could be a dining area, it could be a bar. Here they've got this rather cool lobby area with a sort of mobile bar that's disguised like an old-fashioned sort of travel trunk. But you can see it opens up and you've got all the shelves, bottle holders and so on for a bar. Very cool styling all the way around, lots of different finishes. This is actually a wallpaper apparently, even though it's wood, but looks absolutely beautiful. We've got this herringbone effect floor here. That contrasts with the teak decking down here. I love these kind of Fendi barrel style supports for this sofa. Very kind of soft, organic feel to the main saloon. We've got curves everywhere. You can see a circular carpet underneath with lots of texture and colours woven into it. Mixture of sort of longer sofas and smaller armchairs. Other thing to point out is we've got sliding doors on both sides, so those will open there. We've got another set over here, and along with those aft doors you can have it really opened up and have a wonderful flow of air through the saloon. Massive TV on the bulkhead. You'll see a lot of this different marbles as we work our way through the boat. It's absolutely covered in beautiful marbles. Sliding door, so that can separate off. And then we can go one of two ways. Let's start up for the moment. So if we go up to the upper deck, there's a few people on board, so we'll have to work our way around. I think there's a meeting going on there, so let's go through to the helm station first of all, the bridge deck. This is clearly the captain's domain. 4 huge screens, access on both sides, and there is a captain's cabin in there. We've been asked not to go in there, it's his private space, so fair enough, but logically enough, it's right next door to the bridge deck, and a wonderful navigation station down here too. But let's go forward. There is another guest area up here, and most importantly, a second pool. Now, I don't know how many other 143-foot boats have two pools on board. I can't think of many, if any at all. But how cool is this? Got another big sunpad area, another infinity pool. So at both ends of the boat, you've got a wonderful spot for guests to hang out, lounge in the pool and stare out to sea. Got a bar area here, very smart teak furniture here, and yeah, slightly unusual view, but I guess it means you can talk to guests. Somebody can be sat in the pool sipping their cocktail, others can be sat around the bar chatting to them. Big carbon fibre supports for a sun awning if you want to have a bit more shade over the pool. Lots of sunbathing space. Another big sofa facing forward under the shelter of that eyebrow over the bridge. So that makes sure it doesn't get too much sun glare inside, but also acts as a shade for your guests. That's the access door into the bridge. And you can see on this deck too, we've also got opening side doors leading into the formal dining area. And this is the upper deck dining area. You can see a huge oval dining table, seating for at least 10 if not 12. Got opening side doors here and here and onto the aft deck. So plenty of space to eat like kings on the upper deck. This is the aft deck. Again, trying to keep it as versatile as possible. You have got a full wrap of seating. The cushions aren't out at the moment because it has been a little bit of a windy day here in Cannes. But all this furniture can be removed if you want to keep this as a big open party deck. We've got another sofa under there, still covered for exactly the same reason, but just gives you an idea of the scale of the space. And if you thought we've reached the top, there is yet another deck still to come. Love these cutouts with glass inserts that allow light and views, but still plenty of protection. And here is the steps up to the top deck. The sun deck is in fact an optional part of the whole boat. You don't have to. If you want a lower profile boat, you can have this without the sun deck, but look at all this extra space it does give you if you do go for it. Big outdoor dining table here, lots more of that marble down the center of the table, even here on the hardtop supports, and another big bar. I haven't even counted the number of bars on this boat. I know there are two pools, but there's got to be, I would think, 4 or 5 bars in total. This one is particularly special because it is fully rigged with teppanyaki grills, cutting surfaces for sushi, filleting, all the kind of cool cupboards, freezers, ice makers you need, but very lovely space. I mentioned there were quite a few bars, and here is one of the other ones. This time looking forward over the bow of the yacht, more of that lovely coloured marble, another sunbed, rather nicely sheltered behind this glass windscreen which just wraps around the boat, giving shelter from the breeze but without getting in the way of that fabulous view forward. Just have a little peek over there whilst we're here. There is that forward pool. Right, let's spin around and start to work our way through the interior a bit more. Let's go down a level, so you can go down through the boat inside or outside. We might just see if we can open. There you go, one of the side doors magically opens to let us in. And then we're going to go forward, so we're back on the main deck here. That's the internal staircase. We come first to the day heads,
always convenient to have, and then into what would normally be the owner's suite, but here it's something a little bit different, and I will show you that in just a second. But as you come in, there is a desk area, 2 huge windows, lovely place to sit and work. Over on the other side there's a walk-in wardrobe, lots of hanging space, huge circular mirror, and then into the cabin itself, or what would normally be the sleeping area, but rather than a sleeping cabin, what we have here is a karaoke suite. How cool is that? The owner's not particularly keen to sleep on board on the main deck, so they've installed this huge TV, massive speakers built into the bulkhead, and a full array of sofa seating, and these rather cool armchairs. They're a little bit like ripped jeans or something. It just looked like they've been overstuffed and are spilling out. Big marble bulkhead. But how much fun would that be to gather in here with your mates and have a proper karaoke session in a tailor-made space. Now normally if it was an owner's sleeping cabin, then this bulkhead would be moved back and there would be more space for the bed in here, but instead we've also got a full-on ensuite bathroom of truly epic proportions. Absolutely huge space, and that is because it has stolen a little bit of room from what would normally be the sleeping cabin, but what that has left space for is a full-on sauna. Just check that out. Proper steam sauna, lovely smell of cedar wood, all the usual temperature scales and everything, and because that is a sauna, there's also a conventional shower over here, but frankly compared to the sauna that's just a little bit ordinary, albeit absolutely massive. And of course, because that has got a steam room, it does have to have a fireproof door and bulkhead, so particularly heavy, substantial door. But there you go, take your pick. Most people would have the owner's cabin here on the main deck, but it just goes to show what you can do with a fully customised super yacht such as this.
So let's take a look down at the accommodation in the lower deck. This spiral staircase goes down through the centre of the yacht to the main guest cabins. Now in this case, because of that karaoke room at the front of the boat, we have the main cabin down here. So normally this would be a VIP. In this case, it's used as the owner's cabin. More of that herringbone flooring around the bed. Slight curve to the headboard, feels to kind of welcome you in. Big windows out through the hull. Obviously an ensuite bathroom. I like this little recessed lighting strip in here too, just adds a little bit of shadow and light. Big shower. The other rather unique thing about this layout is that you can actually combine it with the cabin next door, so that is a sliding partition, and we'll have a look at how that works in a second. Another big walk-in wardrobe here. Hanging space, drawers. But let's go and take a look at the other side of that partition. So currently set up as a double cabin too. You can see we've got a double bed here, but rather cleverly, what happens if you open that partition there, that slides back, and then this can turn into a sofa. This section of the bed lifts up and folds into this recess up here. So effectively, you then have a lovely kind of lounge area as part of this double-sized suite. So you've got the bed over on one side and you've got a lounge area here. And this has its own ensuite bathroom too, so whether you use it as a cabin or part of the suite, you've got another really big shower on that side. So moving back forward through the yacht, we've got more guest accommodation here. This one is laid out as a twin. Another big hull window, good natural light. Television on the bulkhead, lovely kind of fabric wall covering along here. And of course, ensuite bathroom. Another big circular mirror, more of that lovely marble. This one's just light grey veining inside, sort of alabaster white marble. And another twin cabin here. Very spacious for a twin cabin. Look how much space there is between those two beds. Similar TV setup. And another big circular mirror in the bathroom. Now, unusually, there is a direct connection to the crew area here. You can probably see the sign up here. That is because sometimes, if the owner wants to accommodate one extra couple, there is a crew cabin in here which is finished in exactly the same standard as the guest cabins. So if you have a peek in there, you can see that this can either be a very comfortable crew cabin or used as an additional guest cabin. And another crew cabin in there, but that one is occupied. So back up to the main deck. As well as having access downstairs to the main accommodation deck and upstairs to the sun deck and sun lounge, we also have access to the crew areas. Now, here is the galley, very much commercial spec. Clearly it's going to be crew who are using this galley area. So we've got all kind of full restaurant grade induction hob, quite a cool special induction wok, steam ovens, masses of freezer space, and access down to the crew areas. Let's see if we can have a quick look down here. Laundry room, crew cabins either side. I think there are crew here. Do you mind if I have a very quick look?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
You're very kind, thank you. Look at that, so the crew mess area, they have their own separate galley. Two more crew cabins forward.
Yes, we have one on the left, one on the right, and then here,
Yep.
one in the captain's quarters, and one at the right side, we're using it for the crew.
Fantastic, so how many crew do you have on board?
Nine.
9 full-time crew.
Yeah.
Very impressive on a 43 metre.
Yes.
Excellent, thank you so much, sorry to disturb you. Just to give you some idea of the scale of the engine room on board this 43 metre. So here is one of the two big Cat C32s, 1300 horsepower each. But to be honest, they're almost lost in this vast cavern of an engine room. So here we've got all the main electrical systems. This goes through to the steering access, emergency steering through there. We've got tankage on here. One of the big Kohler generators on this side. You can walk through this electrical system. You've got a second big Kohler generator here. Walking around the engines, this is the second engine. You see we've got a complete toolkit there, enormous exhaust systems all around. And then if we walk between the engines, we can go down a level into another technical space. Massive, great, heavy-duty steel doors. Another technical area in here. This looks like hydraulics. It's all pretty serious stuff. We've got more tanks and systems over there, and then drop down another level into the bilge tunnel itself. This is quite hard work to do one-handed, but you can see the full length of the bilge tunnel all the way through the boat, access to all the systems and the hull itself. Phenomenal scale. There's also access down here into the garage, and you can see it as a side loading garage. So we have the Williams tender in there, you can just see the rails that it slides along out through the port side hull and drops into the water from there. And there's both a tender and a safety rib. Let's finish up this tour of the Atlantique 43 back in the Beach Club area where we began. But first of all, a couple of quick stats about the hull. So it's an all steel displacement construction with an aluminium superstructure. And with those two big Caterpillar engines, it gives it a top speed of 15.5 knots and perhaps more importantly, a cruising range of over 4,000 nautical miles at its regular cruising speed of 10 knots. So I hope you've enjoyed having a bit of a look around it. I've been completely blown away by how much space there is on board what is, by superyacht standards, a relatively compact length. Thank you very much for watching, and of course, if you've enjoyed the video, please do give us a like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll be sure to bring you more fascinating tours just like this one.